Round one, fight!
Nosfera, does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Dean Kane, American heartthrob, Superman to millions. He's patriotic, smart, kind, and very generous. Maybe too generous. He's recently made friends with Gabriel, co-creator of the amazing new comic, Truth, Justice, American Way. Dean has put his full-throated support behind this book. Or has he? Okay, this is the last thing, and I will get you the heck out of here. Do you think people should buy right now? Should they click the link and buy Truth, Justice, American Way? And why is it the greatest comic book ever? Why do you think that?
Well, they should buy it for sure, without a doubt. Right now, click it, go. I'm going to do it after this is over. So if I did it now, I think weird things would happen. And they should do it because Gabe is a big man and he physically threatened me. If I didn't say this,
that's right,
that he was going to choke me out and teach me what truth, justice, and the American way is all about. So I can't wait to see it. I love it that it's counterculture, and it's counterculture just being patriotic and standing for all the things that I stand for. I can't wait.
Okay, well, thank you so much. So what's the truth about Gabe Al-Taib? Madman, artist, poet, gentle lover? It doesn't matter. Buy the book or Dean Kane gets it. Hey guys, hi. That doesn't get old to me. I'm sorry. Wednesday, June 22nd. I'm your friend Gabe Al-Taib. We're back. We missed last week. Shant, he got arrested. I bailed him out. I actually broke him out. It was a crazy thing. We're fine now. Don't tell anyone where we are. But yes, Wednesday, June 22nd. It is time. Demolition Man. How are you doing, Sean? My buddy, my pal, my good friend.
I am doing fantastic, man. I love this movie so much. I can't even tell you.
It's so good. I never saw it until 3 years ago because I thought it looked stupid as a youngster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what my problem was.
I will tell you, I think it came out at the wrong time, but all-time favorite Snipes characters, period, is Simon Phoenix. I mean, he's
more than Blade.
No, I said he's in my all-time favorite. He's my second favorite because he chews the scenery up like no villain, no actor can do unless they're just in a special league. Jack Nicholson is the Joker.
You know what?
He's good.
One of the great action villains.
Yes.
The villains are always so much fun because you love to hate them. And you're right, when he's chewing scenery. And I when you said that, I literally see him in my head like chewing gum and laughing. And I don't even know if he chewed gum in the movie, but I believe it now. I'm gonna add that to my head canon. But this is so good. I love this movie. I love the concept. I wish there were sequels. And where the hell is Wesley Snipes? It's got to come.
We are the sequel.
Well, he's got that comic book that launched like yesterday.
Oh,
and it beat its. I was offered the job to color that originally, and I guess my asking price was too high, so I didn't get the job on that. But that new.
You should have said, "This is for Shanth. I will work for any amount, even if it's a nickel, because I need to." Yeah, I've got a custom head for my 1/12 scale Blade figure of Snipes over there that I ordered from overseas. Love it.
Yeah, love Snipes. Love Blade, of course. The Blade stuff is amazing. But this Demolition Man, I think, one of the best sci-fi action villains ever. Fantastic. Yes. Simon Phoenix. Amazing. Shant, in the decade of Oscar and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, this did come out at the right time.
It absolutely is true. Okay. It's true.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I got through 20 minutes of Oscar, and then on July 27th of 1990, February 27th, 1993, I remember because it was my brother's birthday, I watched Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, 93 or 92. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's terrible.
I don't drink, but I'm assuming there's not enough alcohol in the world.
Okay, it was very bad. Very bad. But, I should have known that this was a good movie. Because, do you recognize this? Ashley Furniture Center. Did you know I've driven in front of that thousands of times growing up? Everyone in San Diego knows this building. It's on Miramar Road. And here's another great double impact connection for that building. Do you know, here's the Ashley Furniture Center. Do you know what's just to the south of it?
Is that a Top Gun?
That
location?
Is Top Gun.
Boom.
The NAS Miramar, Naval Air Station Miramar, which is now Marine Corps Air Station Miramar since like 99.
Hail.
Top Gun is right next to Demolition Man. What a great city I live in. You
live in a fantastic city.
I do. It's outstanding. So I should have known better. I should have known the Triangle Building. I've seen it a million times. And I actually went there once looking for furniture in 2009, trying to buy a bunk bed for my kids.
Yeah.
So, it's now empty. It's for sale, that building now. So if you want to own a piece of Demolition Man, my son does corporate real estate, just commercial real estate. So
I met Dave Stevens at San Diego Comic-Con in your fine city. One of the greatest comic moments I think I've had in my life. So I love San Diego. Much love.
And Estelle Getty was a treasure in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
God bless her. God bless her.
All right.
Yeah, this flick is here's the way I would put this movie. It is a great movie, unquestionably. It is brilliantly done. The issue I think that it ran into the year it came out was it wasn't in the time. You know what I mean? People weren't ready for this. People were wanting to sprint towards the society. I think a lot of people saw this movie and went, "Oh, that's what's so bad about this place?"
Right.
You know what I mean? It's honestly, I really don't think people grasp it. Now people cite this movie like a Rosetta Stone or something like that. You know, I mean, it's like they point to this movie and they go, "This is one of the most frighteningly prescient, films of the last 40 years," and it's great, man.
Right, and it is very prescient, and it's funny. There's connections to Aldous Huxley's A Brave New World.
Yes.
And if you look at Sandra Bullock, who was lovely back then, her character's name is Lenina Huxley, which that can't be a coinkydink, right? So let me dig through my folder here real quick, just to prove to you that I am no liar. Where is it? Well, I wasn't ready for the show. Anyway, there's a link right there from Nana for Simon Phoenix, Wesley Snipes. He does have a new book out, and it looks pretty awesome. It's crowdfunding on Kickstarter, I believe, and there's a link there. And I was originally approached to color it, but I think it's Adam Lawson, right?
Yes.
He did Monsters and Kids. What is that called? Kids and Monsters?
Yes.
Right. And he approached me, but I think my price was too high. So
yeah, he was on a Bancroft show the other night, and I have to say this, guys, and got to say hi to the chat too. I'm looking at all these fine people. Ellie is in here. Ellie Munoz, good to see you. Mike, fan of Double Impact. We tip our bandanas to you, my friend.
That's right.
Yes,
lady.
John, great to see you. BC, aka the new Dark Shadow. First Watch Studios. You got nana. BC, aka, let's see who else we got here. Mike, fan of Double Impact. Scottsley, my man, good to see you. Hunch, the Dirty Roofer. You gotta love it, man.
Right, great name.
That's the best name ever, man.
It's one of them, yeah.
And
do we also have like Missouri Johnson or Mississippi Jackson?
Yeah, that was the one, man.
I don't remember the name, but it's a great name. It's so great. Why don't you remember it? I don't know. It was a lot of names.
Tara Wombat, Jared Weaver, Barry, aka Van T. And we've got Hardware Wars. God, that's a great movie. Let's see. I'll make sure. We've got Tari here. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. John Scottsley. Let's see if there's anybody else I've missed. If I've missed you, Geek Hazu, good to see you. And let's see. Anybody else I'm missing? If I have missed you in the chat, go, you missed me, Sean. And we'll get to you, my friend.
Right.
We will get to you. So
we'll table this for the end of the show.
Yes.
But remind me, chat, remind me, Sean. We always go back to the classic when they used to not have social justice, identity politics, these classic 90s, 80s action. We love it.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, we'll table this to the end, but remind me, everyone. I want to break protocol, maybe, and review Top Gun Maverick, which is a brand new movie, but it's not a new movie. This thing is right out of the 80s and the 90s. We'll decide. We'll decide by the end of the show. Maybe I'll put it in the chat because it would break our rule because we're just doing old school here. We're not doing new releases. But we'll definitely discuss it. If you haven't seen,
but we're also Comicsgate, so we're all about breaking those rules, man.
That's right. That's right. And if you haven't seen it yet, Sean, and if you haven't seen it yet, chat, it comes with my highest recommendation, Top Gun Maverick. It's not woke at all.
Stephen Rockwood and Brohawk and Sean X, I bow to you. Stephen Rockwood, I am so sorry I missed you, my friend. I tip my hat to you.
CG is freedom, indeed.
It is absolutely, guys. And we're crushing it.
Oh, look, I love this idea. From Nana. 1 month out, they need to release Top Gun double feature. I would go thrice.
Right on.
There you go. So, okay. There's Brohawk working away. Oh, I sent out some great material on Truth Justice today, all on social media. So I'll get to that later. But chat, you got to remind me, Sean, you got to remind me. Let's get down to business.
Yes, let's do it.
Simon Phoenix and John Spartan. Because I love this. You love this. Do you want to go with the description? You want me to describe it? What do you want to do here?
I want to go with the description. I can do the description, but I just have to point this out. What year was the future in this movie? Because it always cracks me up.
Oh my gosh, it was barely the 2000s. It was. I'm gonna go jumped over to Wikipedia real quick. So that I don't know, but it was like,
we'll keep it general, right? So in the present day, I should say.
I think the movie was like 1999, and then when Stallone gets frozen in ice, he gets a 70-year sentence, but he gets out like he's broken out like in 30 years. So I think like in the 2020s or the 2030s. I could be wrong about all of that. I'm just guessing.
Sure. And so we've got John Spartan, who is known as the Demolition Man. He takes down Simon Phoenix in this this plot, but Simon Phoenix has in this building that he's going to blow up. He has all of these people that he's already killed, and because Spartan goes in and he blows up the building, and they didn't see any life signs in there, they find all these bodies, and so Spartan is railroaded by the press. Where have we seen this before? Truth, Justice, American Way is going to be tackling these guys. And that's the thing about it. He gets railroaded by the press, and he ends up getting sentenced just the same as the criminal Simon Phoenix. He ends up getting frozen. Hey, ladies, made consumer. He ends up getting in Sketch 51. He ends up getting frozen cryogenically, and so does Simon Phoenix as a part of his sentence. This new way of going, through things. He is then in the future. In the woke, nerfed reality, the SJW, dare I say, semi-moist dream, they have locked down everything that is deemed harmful for you, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, someone, for some reason, sees to releasing Simon Phoenix, the most dangerous criminal of his time, but certainly there is nothing like him in this completely safe spaced to hell future.
Right.
So he comes out and he's got unbelievable, interestingly good skills. Indeed, yeah, I love that. 80s Maid's my boy. He's my boy. God bless you. And so he comes out and he's got all of these incredible skills that he starts to realize. 2032, guys.
So
and
Stallone
we're already
is going to be frozen this August 3rd, 2 months from now. He'll be frozen for 10 more years, guys.
That's right, guys. We're almost there, and I'm sure you can feel it. Yeah, are you shitting me? I love that. And so, believe it or not, Hanger 18 and all the rest of you fine people in the chat, they are regulating people's speech in this future that seems kind of Marxist.
I'm glad this is fiction, and they would never regulate speech here where we live.
You bet. And so Simon Phoenix comes out because he's Wesley Snipes, mainly. That's the main reason he comes out of this. He escapes killing people, committing what is called a murder, death, kill in the future, which I love. Yeah, I feel like that should be the name of my publishing company. We should start something, murder, death, kill. But it's he comes out and immediately starts, creating havoc everywhere he goes. They then have the bright idea to unfreeze Sylvester Stallone to take him on. And Sylvester Stallone, there he is immediately shocked. He's unfrozen. He can't find cigarettes because they've been outlawed. He can't find any of the tough guy vices of his time, except for maybe HGH. I don't know, but I think it's possible. And Stallone comes out, and the tank that he is, and he has to figure out how to fit into this world while taking on Simon Phoenix. And what ensues is some of the most brilliant commentary on where we are right now that you will ever see. And it's got some of the best action. And let me tell you something. Snipes right there. He is not only a movie star, which he is so underrated as a movie star. Hail Henry Bemis.
I agree with this. World of Conan, by the way. If you love Conan, then I love you, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Love Stallone, but Snipes steals this movie. Yeah, yes, dude. If I could just interrupt you for a second. My top 5 action stars, Van Damme, then Stallone, then Bronson, then Seagal, then Arnold. But Snipes, he steals this movie from Stallone. He does.
Mm-hmm.
He does, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about it, when I'm watching this flick, Cranberry Langer's hail to you. He when Snipes comes out, he acts this movie. I was watching a movie recently, and I hate to acting is a tough gig, and I hate to talk down about an actor, but I was watching the movie The Phantom with a villain that I think was miscast by a really great actor, Treat Williams. He does have amazing acting ability, but he didn't know. Some people try to ham it up, and they can't ham it up. There's Wesley Snipes can go big without being hammy, and that is hard to do as an actor.
Right.
When he says Spartan, John Spartan, shit, they'll let anybody into this century is fucking genius. And you have to watch it.
That was cultural appropriation, Sean.
That was cultural appropriation.
How dare you?
We're talking about his blonde hair. So I should say that's glued on, obviously.
Right.
But it's brilliant. That is a great character design. Him with those contact lenses and that hair is Joker level amazing stuff. I love it, man.
Oh my gosh. So Simon Phoenix, he breaks out, and then John Spartan's got to hunt him down. But interspersed the whole time is a lot of heavy commentary about totalitarian governments, no freedom of speech, no, you can't smoke, nobody has sex anymore. It's just they take away all your liberty. But the way they get the medicine to go down is there's a little bit of comedy. This is not a comedy, this movie, but they put a little comedy to get those heavy messages down. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that quite a bit. So
it was the Nanny State narrative before we really knew how the Nanny State would shake out.
Right.
You know, it's all about control. Even though he finds his workaround, Simon Phoenix has been programmed to be controlled. They even do this really amazing thing that is, boy, we want to talk about a commentary. They, while they're in cryogenic sleep, they can program them and teach them skills. And for Wesley Snipes, they teach him all of these hardcore skills. But for Stallone, they emasculate him as much as they can. They teach him all of these skills that are obviously in this movie being portrayed as skills that you think of a homemaker, to make him less, masculine. And I thought, wow. And actually, that's what you're supposed to get when you're put in jail. You're supposed to get those skills. They just didn't do it. They're trying to completely what's the word I'm looking for?
It's emasculate.
Emasculate, and also just teach you all of these passive things.
Right.
Which is knitting. There you go.
Because you have what's his name? It's Dr. Raymond, whatever.
Yes.
This guy with the white,
Nehru outfit.
Yeah, he's got the white Black Power outfit for some reason. And he's like the evil hand behind everything, pretending to be the benevolent leader of this abundant society where, we have everything, but nobody has the one thing they need is freaking freedom.
Yeah,
but they want to take away any sort of aggression and masculinity. So the whole time Stallone was frozen in the cube, he, like Sean said, he was being programmed to knit and be more peaceful and more passive is really what they're after. And that's what they're after with you guys today. I don't want to be heavy-handed here, but what do you think the concept of toxic masculinity is? The concept of toxic masculinity isn't real. What it is it's telling you, hey, don't stand up to us authoritarian bullies, or we'll call you toxic. So
I think the other aspect of it is we hate toxic masculinity, except for the toxic masculinity that we feel like we can control and use against you. And that was the whole thing, right? They get rid of supposedly everybody who has an original thought and has any kind of masculinity. And when push comes to shove, that's exactly what they'll resort to, thinking they can control it. And that's something that's in Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugged. The hubris of the faux intellectual, the leisure class, social controlling, pseudoscientists, that when they get control, they think they're going to be in charge. And then they come face to face with the thugs who are really going to be running things, who take them out like that. They're like, we got rid of all the powerful police and people in charge, and now we're going to do what we want. And then the thugs go, thanks.
Right. Yeah,
I'm coming for you now.
You look at communist Russia, communist China, Cambodia. So you have these erudite, well-heeled, liberal elite, college educated, and they're going along with the communism, and they're just the ones the alligator eats last. You know what I mean? So
Taco Bell has a monopoly on everything, which is a very interesting thing. Sandra Bullock is another really interesting thing. Sandy B.
I like this. John says, so let me get this straight. Spacely Sprockets here, who's now the man in charge, the mayor gov, who wants to take me to dinner at Taco Bell. One thing you don't know, there was the fast food wars.
The fast food wars.
They don't explain what happened, but Sandra Bullock is surprised that Stallone doesn't know that all restaurants are Taco Bell now. And I guess in certain localizations, in other countries where they play this, it was Pizza Hut and not Taco Bell. Maybe they didn't have a Taco Bell in whatever region of the world, but I know that there's they're having dinner at Taco Bell with this Raymond Coutreau or Cocteau, whatever the bad guy is.
Cocteau.
And it gets attacked by Dennis Leary. It's like Edgar Friendly, that's his name.
Yes.
Him and the people, they're like they live underground as freedom fighters who want to think and feel and be free and have a life of liberty and pursuit of happiness and not be controlled by authoritarians. Reminds me of something I've heard. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of something. But anyway, Edgar Friendly's group of freedom fighters from the underground, they attack the Taco Bell. They make a quick strike. But some of them are just after food, right? So then Stallone is like, maybe this Raymond guy who I've been led to believe is this great leader, maybe he's not so great after all.
That's right. I mean?
So, Super Chat. Got to honor that real quick. Hunch the Dirty Roofer, one of the great fans. Sean, prior to roofing, I was in academia as well. So this week's book offering is for you. Want to understand why U.S. foreign policy has been a 35-year shit show? Read John Mersheimer's The Great Delusion. I'm going to screenshot that.
I'm actually going to put it in my Amazon right now.
Man.
That is one of my liberal dreams and liberal dreams and international realities. The Great Delusion. I've got it right there on my list, my friend. Thank you for that suggestion. Right now, I'm also reading The Red Decade about the early 1900s and the beginning inroads of communism. So much love, man.
What is that, Sean?
It's called The Red Decade. Razor Fist recommended it. It's great. It's a book. It's a book that was written back in the day. So it's not like a new book. It's a new printing of it by Eugene Lyons. And it's the Stalinist penetration of America. And it's a brilliant breakdown. And because a lot of people think this stuff happened recently, we're actually in, a second Red Decade, Red Menace period. But the thing that gets me about this is that when you're watching this movie, think about what they want. They have this great line. Yes, excellent. They have this great line that that in this movie that a lot of people miss because it is the genius of this. She goes, abortion is illegal now, but then pregnancy is illegal unless you have a license. And it's the whole idea of controlling people's ability to reproduce. It's a very dark concept. And the whole idea of not allowing for human contact. Everything is through a machine. Boy, where have I seen this before?
Yeah. Because after that brief action scene, Sly, or I guess John Spartan and Lenina head back to her place, and she tells them she wants to get frisky to have sex. And they have sex by putting on these helmets, and it's all mental brainwave signals, whatever. I think there's a point where he tries to kiss her, and she flips out. Like, oh my gosh, bodily touch, exchange bodily fluids, disgusting.
Gross, yeah.
So, that's, and again, postmodernism, this leftism that we are fighting, like literally fighting with Comicsgate and everything we do, it's stripping away your humanity, guys. And I would ask any of you out there, and I don't want to get heavy, but have you had enough? Do you want more? Do you want more of this leftism? Do you want it to keep going? You know what I mean? That's where I am emotionally. But let's get back to the fun.
Well, and I will say this: where I am right now, and I will tell you this is the fact that we locked Mr. Snipes away for some bullshit, as far as I'm concerned, during his prime acting career, pisses me off to this day, man. And it's like, man, it's like they're never gonna let that go, Gabe.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
They're never gonna let go. But now it's a meme, so you're good.
That's right.
You're good, baby.
Maybe I'm starting my own thing that's Comoxgate. You never know.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll tell you this right now. So this is what we call, again, I know you guys know this. This is a star turn. Sandy B shows up in this movie, and then she's in Speed, and then she's been a starring role kind of actress for decades. So there you have it. And it's a brilliant. It's how do I word this? This movie, I do believe, was released in the wrong time in terms of it was a great film for a period, but it was like a book that gets released and then appreciated later. Yeah, Simon Phoenix, the museum is no longer sealed. Is it? What can I say? I'm a blast from the past. I loved it all. Yeah, man. Yeah, they'll let anybody into this century. Still one of my favorite lines.
It's
from
so
any
clever.
movie.
I would love to know if the writer, because I don't know who wrote or directed this. I don't know a lot about this one because I just saw it for the first time 3 years ago. But I would like to know if the writer and the director did a lot of comedy because, like I said, it is not a comedy, but it has comic beats sprinkled in perfectly. And I love stuff like that. Beef Law, my action book I'm working on, I'm making sure that I have comic beats sprinkled in because if it's just hardcore grueling fighting, that could be a lot. You know, and in Truth Justice, we want to have comedic beats, but it's not a comedy. You know what I mean? So I think that's a very delicate process to insert the little bit of funny stuff. But when you do it, man, it sings. It's just perfect.
Yeah, hail David Brohawk Williams. You damn straight, man. I can't even, I mean, so here's the thing I want to talk about too, which is great. And this is where the optimism of this comes in. This is what I love about this movie. It's not Dennis Leary hiding underground, you know, God bless him, but reading his poetry.
By the way, sorry, he looks like a Travis Charest Wildcats grifter.
He does looks like grifter by Travis, man.
He looks great, man.
He looks great, man.
Yeah, I believe it. He looks great, man.
Anybody who does not remember that the Charest Lubdell Wildcats relaunch, that is spot on Charest's grifter. But yeah, so this is the thing, right? Is that this is the thing, man. So I look at this and I look at it this way. These are not the people who make change because they fight the system, but they don't really make change. Change comes from men. It comes from masculine men. And that's the thing that's so funny. Their society is completely stagnant and it's not even working. Like there's all these problems that are underground.
Right.
But what happens is when you introduce a real man into that and he starts explaining what it means to be a real man, the woman reaches her full potential because she sees him and she's like, whoa, this is what I've been missing. But even the guys around him, like Benjamin Bratt, who's like 15 in this, I feel like, you know, he's in this and he's like going, hey, maybe I could try to have some balls. You know, it's like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it great. Who'da thunk? Hail. Yeah, Edgar Friendly.
This is a great quote from Edgar Friendly here. All I want to do is bury Cocteau up to his neck and shit and let him think happy thoughts forever.
Amen.
That sounds like Dennis Leary wrote that one.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Goodness. Yeah, somebody photoshopped the grifter mask on that pic.
Right.
It's totally true, man.
J-Do says he heard somewhere it was Wesley's agent, not Wesley, who did the taxes. But I believe that totally. I think when you're a megastar like Wesley and you're that rich, you got agents and managers and they have power of attorney. So they're like, did you do my taxes? Like, and they have the ability to sign everything. And I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened.
Of course, man. I'm trying to imagine Snipes sitting there doing his own taxes at that level. I just am not seeing it, man.
Yeah. Do you remember this? Henry Bemis. I remember Dennis Leary doing short rants on MTV while chain smoking back in the day. No way they were allowed. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, he was like on that wave way back in the early 90s of being militantly anti-PC. And cancel culture, PC was like this big in the early 90s. You know what I mean? It was just a little bud, just a tiny sprout, and he was stomping on it. I do remember that. He would go out of his way to like smoke, because that's when smoking started to get outlawed here and there and everywhere. And he would intentionally, I remember he put his hand around his head and smoke and like just chain smoke on stage just to be defiant. So
yeah, well, he would do he did the, you know, Bono's football, Bono's baseball, you know, he did all his ads, and he'd be like, you know, I think you can hear me knocking, and I've got me, and I've got Bo with me. Like, he was just freaking hilarious.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's another great quote. We use weapons to shop for groceries, dick.
Always bet on black. I mean,
yeah, David, man, it ain't great, man. It ain't great. Yeah.
Well, Hardware Wars, we're all influenced. You know what I mean? We're all influenced. I think he's done enough to stand legit on his own. But, you know.
Listen, who was it? Adam Hughes once had this quote that I really liked, which he said when someone was interviewing about how he's respected as an artist. And he said, careers, you know, work where if you last long enough, you're going to gain everybody's respect. And I thought, damn, that's a dark way to look at it. But I think in stand-up comedy, it's the same thing. Right. You know, sooner or later, you know, it's a grueling field, and you know, if you can make your way through it, it is what it is. But yeah, and dude, that right there, where they get a hold of, is that a what kind of car is that? Is that Chevy Nova? No, it's not.
I don't. It's some sort of I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like a classic Chevy to me. But wait, is it an Oldsmobile actually? I'm gonna go.
Oh, you know what? Someone get the car for me.
I'm gonna go on the Google machine.
Because it's got, I mean, it's tricked out, whatever it is, a little bit, but I'm trying to think of what it is.
That's an old
Chevelle. There you go.
Oh, it's a Chevelle. Okay.
Someone's saying Chevelle. I think that sounds about right.
Demolition Man car into the Google. It's a Oldsmobile 443. I thought it was an Olds with that back and that the rear view and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. 72 Oldsmobile 442. Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car, man. It's like, and it's perfect because you see this thing, you know, crashing through this world.
Right. And it's in the underground world with the people who haven't given in to the authoritarianism, where they took everything away, all the freedom away, and that car is down there, and Sandra Bullock and Stallone, they get the car and they emerge from that world, like you said, Sean, like crashing into this horrible, brave new world.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so. Go back to the photo of Comicsgate.
What?
That one more forward. No, the one you were just on there with a group underground. So yeah, these are where all the people who have been labeled white supremacists and Nazis hang out. You can tell, and then up above is where the mainstream is, and there you have it, man. And hey, Skin, great to see you, my friend. And it's one of those things where I look at this stuff. Or Shin, I'm sorry, not Skin. Shin. Oh, I love that. Shin. How do I pronounce that?
Would it be Akakage?
I think so. I think you're right, man. Yeah, man. I'm laughing. Yeah, it's so great because it's not what people are afraid of up above is not having control. That's what it is. There we go. You got it. And it's people are it's crazy how funny it is that they think they can have control, because the kinds of people who try to, you know, create the systems of control, who write all these little rules up and are little petty tyrants, eventually real tyrants come for those rules.
Right.
And that's it. And they take over. And it's exactly what happens in this movie. You see how easily their naive view of the world is toppled. And I just don't think that I think Demolition Man is due for a resurgence. You know, I think this is watch parties. We got to like put this movie out there to people, man.
Right.
Hail, Henry.
Prescient. And I'm ashamed I didn't watch it for years, man. It didn't work for me when I saw the commercials when I was young. And I didn't go to too many movies anyway. But I should have known with the triangle building across from Top Gun. I should have known, you know?
Yep.
And then so they get a hold of the car. There's a great fight scene in the car. Like they're chasing Simon Phoenix in the Oldsmobile. It's really awesome. Just forget the story for a minute. The story's fantastic. You know, the allegory and all that. The acting is amazing. Wesley Snipes is just amazing, as we said. But the action itself is so well directed. And it's got that 90s feel, like Terminator 2 and all the great 90s action. It totally has that feel in it. And it was right at the burgeoning age of when they wanted to use a little CGI. Yeah. So the CGI it's corny, but it's passable. You know, some of it's a little like, oh, okay, this is like the 90s. But it still works. You know what I mean? Some of the computer screen stuff and stuff like that. But it still works.
Yeah, and everybody smash that like button, man. Smash that like button and let them know you love Demolition Man and that you love Double Impact. And this is the thing I got to say about this too, man. The Sargon's the Politics of Demolition Man video is worth a watch.
I don't know who Sargon is, but I like the Politics of Demolition Man as a title. That's good.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right? When I'm watching this film, the fight sequence at the ATM or whatever computer he's using, I forget what it is. It's like an ATM, where the cops pull up and he's like, and he's just like laughing, and then he starts taking him out. He's like, "Ole!" I mean, this guy, when Snipes does fight scenes, and you can see it in Blade 2, you can see it in Blade 1, and even in Rising Sun with Sean Connery. This guy,
I saw it as a kid. That was good.
Yeah. This guy moves like Fred Astaire when he does martial arts. He's got just great freaking presence, and he's just great on camera, man.
Yeah,
a real movie star.
Well, I hope that Kickstarter of his blows up.
Yeah, man.
I'm kind of regretting not coloring that graphic novel.
I'm regretting you not coloring it too.
My page rate must have been too high. I quoted them a rate, and they didn't want to do it, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all.
Yeah, but you'll catch people down the line. You know how it goes. It's never over.
Yeah. So, Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes, another great one.
Dude, I saw that in the theater. Love that movie. And it's just I can't say this. It's funny. But one of the greatest comebacks ever is this cop arrests Snipes, not knowing he's actually law enforcement, or he's trying to protect the passengers on the plane, and they arrest him. He's like, "Hey man, so think about what would you do if you were in my shoes? No, or what would you do if you were me?" And he goes, "Minecraft myself." It was just the cold-blooded delivery of that, man, was gorgeous. But yeah, is that the last moment of our dear friend there?
Yeah, I wanted to get to that.
Glorious.
Whenever you have these communist authoritarian revolutions, the big eggheads like this guy here, Raymond Coutreau, I don't know.
Cocteau.
Yeah, Cocteau. That's a weird name. He thinks he's gonna keep ruling, and he doesn't realize that Simon Phoenix is gonna just get to him eventually, and he ends up taking him out. So because Simon Phoenix feels like he should be in charge, and he has the muscle to flex that way. So it is funny that these kind of what did you call them, petty tyrants? They end up getting eaten too. So
they also give Simon Phoenix all of these amazing skills. And they think that they are so amazing, they're so benevolent that the people that they hire as their enforcers, who would have the kind of mercenary value system that would allow them to betray their fellow man, aren't going to betray them. Right. It's an adorable little naivete that they have. It's sad.
Yeah, and speaking of naivete, I love this comment from Thomas Polzer.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that 90s movements are often bemoaned as being shallow and dumb, but I'm convinced they've gotten far dumber now. I agree with you, Thomas, almost totally. I don't think that a lot of there are 90s movies that are just dumb, punching and kicking. I get it. But there's a lot of them like this that have a deep message, that are written by amazing writers and amazing actors and directors produce them. And I think we are missing that more than ever now. I think you're totally right, because woke is a filter. You have this story coming, and when it passes through that prism of woke, it breaks the story. Because in a normal writing is all about patterns. Art is about patterns. Yeah. A plus B is C. That's how you write. Well, A plus B plus woke might be X or Q. You know what I'm saying? And it throws the story off, because we can't write that. That's politically incorrect when it makes sense. I got a great, if y'all don't like Mark Waid, who I call the redheaded George Costanza, he's that SGW comic writer, and he looks just like George Costanza, but with red hair. My friend Philippe Briones was drawing comics for Humanoids like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
woke comics, but Philippe's from France. He wasn't aware of all the politics, and he kept writing Kwanzaa Johnson and Mark Waid, total SJWs. He kept writing them emails that the story didn't make any sense, and they kept arguing viciously with Philippe. Philippe is a master animator and illustrator, and I said, "Give me an example." And he said there was like a bus crash, and the mother grabbed the husband and the child and drug them out. And Philippe was trying to tell Mark Waid, no, the father would drag the mom and the baby out. This doesn't make sense. So you have A plus B plus woke, and then the answer turns into pineapple cactus. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's my long way, Thomas, of saying that, yes, the stories are stupid now because they can't make sense because of woke.
Yeah, and Hale Aber's 2 cents for the for back in Nosfera. I do appreciate that. I did see that in the chat. And I have to tell you this, and this is a big thing I love about this, is they've got this guy who is is powerful in ways that they don't even remotely understand, who is smart in ways and what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like he's not just an amazing fighter, and he's not just strong. He's also like a Conan Doyle Moriarty. You know what I mean? Like
right.
he's toying with his food. Even in the opening movie, he's toying with his food. You know what I mean? Right. He's like, he's already killed all those people. That's why there's no life signs in there. You know what I mean? But he doesn't care because he's trying to frame John Spartan. He does not care. Devious. There you go. Yeah. And so these people, like, that's the thing that is amazing to me about this, is the idea that petty villains, because they have, what they do is they get into civilized institutions made by strong men, which is to say American society in this movie, in these great cities. And they get in there and they use the mechanisms of civilization to push out the people who have done it, and then think they can run things like tyrants. And as soon as they push out those strong people, the real tyrants come in, and they realize how completely inept they are at being tyrants. And Simon Phoenix is there to remind you why you need John Spartan in the world. Right. That you remove John Spartan at your own peril. You remove the means of fighting Simon Phoenix and individuality at your own peril. And it's a brilliant bit of futuristic visuals I mean, boy, this is a crafted movie back then. And I think we do it still today. There's some great stuff out there that is, maybe it's not getting, all the attention in the world, but this was a brilliantly made film.
Yeah. And just think of John Spartan. First of all, the name. Yes. A little on the nose. But then he's a man who literally comes out of the past to make things right in the future, where woke and authoritarianism has broken everything. So they need the past ways of the fathers. This is your cultural patrimony. You know what I mean? So I always laugh when these like feminists are like, smash the patriarchy. And I always think the patriarchy that gives you clean water and groceries at the grocery store and air conditioning and internet and space travel and safe medicine, and that's the patriarchy you want to destroy. Just want to make sure I have this right. That you want to destroy the culture that created all this, and you need to keep that culture to keep creating it. That's the thing the ungrateful great-great-grandchildren of success don't understand. We all get upset about what's happening in Western culture, particularly America. For us, read a history book, guys. This happens every time. This is the level nobody can beat. You become a victim of your own success, and the great-great-great-great-grandchildren of success didn't bleed for the success, so they don't appreciate it. They don't water the plants. Then the plants die. Then we start over.
Here's an interesting thing, though, right? We were just talking about this. You get petty little tyrants who attack and push out strong, good men. And then they think, now look how tyrannical I am. I push them out. And then they're left with real tyrannical men. And that is the issue that you run into. And then you realize, oh, you can't smash shit.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Right. Absolutely. The finer things from The Office. That's hilarious.
Yep. There you have it.
But so then they have their big action set piece fight at the end in the freezing room in the prison. And it's got good special effects. It's actually pretty good, even though it's in late 90s. What is this, 97, 98? This one was pretty late 90s.
I think so.
And when already political correctness was creeping in after like 96, 97, things started to get a little weird with political correctness.
So this is 93.
Oh, 93. I was off by 4 years. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is right in the middle of. Here's the thing. Here's exactly where I was going to go with this, because this is big. Yeah, the camera angles were great in this movie. By the way, in every movie in the 90s, I have to be clear about this. There was a fight scene, and this is totally true, where liquid nitrogen freezes somebody and they get taken out as a result. It's Time Cop, it's Terminator 2, it's in Demolition Man. We had an obsession with liquid nitrogen freezing people.
Right. Who knew that that's how you would save the future, with liquid nitrogen?
Liquid nitrogen was the way to defeat evil, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Oh, goodness. So, yeah, they have this awesome fight there. You get Stallone making his faces and making his muscles to make the ladies swoon.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing leads to another. And he tells Simon Phoenix to chill out, bro.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's the end of Simon Phoenix. One of the great villains of action sci-fi. Love it. Love it. Love Demolition Man. Man, what a fantastic movie.
It's a fantastic movie, and I just got to give some context in a lot of ways of movies that came out during this time. You've got Falling Down, which came out during this.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Read it.
It's a cool way to kill some. I agree, man. Listen, you're preaching to the choir,
right?
You know, yeah. He goes heads up, and then that head comes clean off,
right?
Because that is how we roll. By the way, great practical effects on that. But I gotta say this: 1993 movies. You've got Falling Down, you've got Indecent Proposal, you've got Tombstone, Gettysburg, Jurassic Park, Dazed and Confused, Dragon: A Bruce Lee Story. The Firm, you've got Schindler's List, you've got This Boy's Life, you've got Poetic Justice, True Romance, all of these, Benny and June, Clint Eastwood in Line of Fire, Kronos, My Left Foot, Grumpy Old Men, but here's the Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Sleepless in Seattle. I could go down this list. There's a lot of movies. The Fugitive, all of these movies came out. But here's the thing I want to say about what was going on during this time. And by the way, Nowhere to Run, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme doing his dramatic beginning. So this right here is kind of the end, and also, wait, what am I saying? Nowhere to Run. And there's also, Hard Target came out. What year was that? 93 as well. Hard Target came out in 93. Okay, so perfect.
Wow, this movie, 93 the year. Is that
it was the year, man. This movie, and I gotta say this is the problem. The Crow, hell yeah, the Crow. This is the thing about it, right? In 1993, we hadn't lost the male action star yet.
I would argue it was at its zenith, right?
It was at its zenith. So this movie was lamenting the loss to people who hadn't lost it yet. Right. We think about Image Comics hasn't tanked yet. You know, it's the indie boom hasn't tanked. You know, it tanked is relative, but the comic industry tanks in like 94 or 95. I forget what year it was, or 96 maybe it was. I can't remember, but it was in there. Yeah, Simon Says Bleed. I freaking love this character. You know, and I look at this and I just go, so the guys, when you're watching this movie, it really is a movie you want to watch now. You know, you want to see this movie now, especially now. And it's just, I can't overstate that. Yeah, I liked True Lies. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, yeah. A little bit after that, he did Eraser, wasn't bad.
Yes.
Yeah. Amalgam Comics, rip.
Yeah, I know. See, I remember these times, man. Shit, I remember the times of the very start with like Techno Comics and all that stuff, man. It was like, holy cow.
I think, someone said it was great CGI for the time. I'm sorry, whoever said that. I did post your thing on the screen, but I was just lamenting here. Something we never got is the CGI we have now.
Yeah, man.
And then this kind of storytelling and acting.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Woke is dead. I think Woke is dying. The pendulum's swinging back. But if Woke is dead and we have the CGI and the ability to make movies we have now, and we have this new culture since The Sopranos and The Shield, late 90s, early 2000s, of Netflixing things. Certain stories are better in the Netflix thing where you're doing 15 episodes. Some things are better when you do 120 minutes like this. But man, with the special effects we have now and Demolition Man and all these things, I can't wait to see it. You know, I can't wait to see it.
This is my personal feeling on it right now, which is the biggest issue we're going to run into is both the will and the skill, because there is no actor that you can cast in these roles, but I do think we're going to hit, that would come close in today, and all the moving parts you'd have to put together. I do think, though, as has happened very, very often, when Hollywood runs out of ideas and starts making garbage, there's a resurgence of older movies that become new cult classics. They get rediscovered. it's time for Demolition Man to be rediscovered. I mean, in a big way. It's already being talked about. It's not like we're the first people talking about it. And it's and you know, as you mentioned before, Sargon. And what is Sargon? I forget what he goes by now, but you know him. He's talked to he's got the Lotus Eaters podcast and all of that stuff, talking about, you know, conservatism and various things. But this is the big thing, is that I think we have enough excellence in our past that we need to hold up and reintroduce people to. Because I think, much like a generation that's grown up above ground in this movie, that people haven't seen it. Like when you show teenagers, when I show my kids Stranger Things, and they're like, "You could do that? You could just go for a bike ride away from your folks. You could just go on adventures." There's like, yeah, that's pretty much what we did.
When was the last time you saw children playing outside in your neighborhood? I bought this house in October. It'll be 8 years ago. I bought this house, San Diego, suburbs, all families everywhere. I never see kids outside. I know there are kids here. I see them come and go, get in cars and go to school and this and that. I never see kids outside. Like you, Sean, you're 45, I'm 43. So I'm certain you were outside all the time. I walked to school alone with my brother, who's a year and a half older, starting when I was 8 years old. Yeah, it was about a half-mile walk to the elementary school. We just walked alone.
Yeah, and Dan Lawless and I grew up in the same neighborhood, which sounds more and more insane every time I say it. And he knows we used to play kick the can out in the yard. We used to hop fences and all that stuff. We used to do all kinds of crazy stuff. It was just a part of being a kid, right? And and this is the thing. Like my kids, I was saying to them, you know, and I'm saying to them all the time, right? It's like, get out the house. Go, like, we live in a place, we're very fortunate to live in a place where you can walk to a small New England downtown, all that stuff. And it's great because my daughter goes out, sees her friends, they go walk downtown. And oh man, I tell you what though, somebody has that prop Snipes had somewhere. I know it. But it's such an important thing for people to go out and realize that, and start to individuate from their parents, and start to individuate from the state, for God's sake, from the group mentality. You know, Comicsgate, this is the thing I want to say about Comicsgate that's important. And Hale, Jordan, and Hale, I've seen a lot of you guys coming in here. Thank you for coming in here, and hit that like button, guys. We're crushing it, man. I'm telling you, man. This 64 people watching right now, and I want to say this, guys.
Share the link out. Share it out.
Share it out, guys. Let's grow this thing, man. Let's go. Let's go. Say we love Demolition Man. Let them know we want to see this kind of shit, man. This is where it's at for me. But I will say this, is that once you get introduced, like, people don't realize this, Comicsgate is a group of individuals. If in this place that we're in, if you want to try something, if you want to do something different, there's no bureaucracy telling you what you have to do. We're all experimenting with what works and trying things out. We can go to each other for advice. You know, we have certain, principles that we have, but it's really a group of individuals. And God, isn't that wonderful? Right. Isn't it just wonderful to meet all of you guys as individuals? Hail.
Yeah, Muttman, just capturing it right here. Mm-hmm. We didn't know how good we had it, and we didn't know we were the last ones. Well, I'll tell you what. Everyone out there, and especially the men listening, I want to hold on, because now I'm pissed. Have you had enough? I'm serious. The stuff with the kids, destroying our culture, destroying our economy. Have you had enough? How much more do you need to see? Listen, if you're conservative out there, you're Christian like me, you don't have to be, but if you're conservative, patriotic, do you know how we lost our culture? Do you know how? We lost it when the conservatives said, that's devil music. Those are dirty movies and TV. So we opted out of art. Conservatives opted out of learning artistic skills and then making it. We could have went down two roads in Hollywood. We could have went down Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life road, but we didn't. The commies, the weirdos, the subversive people came in the 50s. John Wayne, Walt Disney, they're testifying before Congress on the Council for Un-American Activities, and they did take over. We lost our culture because we gave up on art. Art is a holy endeavor. You have no right to make evil art that ruins lives, that just imprisons people's minds, puts people down, divides you into groups of gay, black, whatever. You don't have the right to do that with art. That is so evil. That's why I walked away from DC. So I want to challenge every one of you out there. Have you had enough? Is this enough? Watching everything crumble in front of you because our fathers and grandfathers gave us this. It's our job to preserve it. And here's how you do it. You do what me and Shamp did. You get the hell away from a woke college like he did. You get the hell away from a woke place like Warner Brothers, like I did, and you start making this stuff. And if you're not going to make it like us, then you support us in making it. And then
if you
and we persuade the kids, we persuade the culture, and we bring it back. Sorry, I just got pissed off there.
Yeah, man. And even if you're making the stuff, don't forget to back it. This is Andy Smith's First Man right here. I've got a Bart Sears. This is 2 copies of First Man issue 2. I got a Bart Sears to read right here and Andy Smith to keep because that's how I roll. I've got Tiger Blue here, an amazing comic book, guys. I have my own comic book funding right now, Nosfera the Crypt Walker. But this is not the thing that drives us all. We want to make great artwork. We want to make our comics incredible. That's what I'm working on all day. But at the same time, you got to feel it, man. You got to want to see good stuff happen. It's got to be an alternative. And as Eric July, someone my brother Gabe may know, as Eric July always says, it's not enough to be an alternative. You have to compete too.
We got to be better. We got to be killers.
Got to be better.
We got to. You look at Sean. RISD, it's one of the best art schools in the world. You don't teach there or even go there if you're not a badass. Sean is a killer. Okay, I worked on Superman, everything, you name it. Star Wars, I'm a killer. David Williams is a killer. Gary Martin is a killer. You guys, if you want to do this with us, get your skills up. It's like get in the gym. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Get your skills up. We need you. We need an army. We need people making entertainment. Entertainment is so persuasive. Every religion, every ideology, it's filled with stories.
I need werewolves and I need
they are stories.
Transparent nightgowns. And I need beautiful, beautiful women's faces. I need ancient Egypt and mummies, and I need amazingly cool looking werewolves. I need all of this stuff in Nosfera or I'm not happy. I need a mummy that is also a freaking vampire. I need this stuff. This is what I need to have exist in my life when I'm making artwork. And I'm going to make sure, and Gabe is going to make sure, that we are bringing the action, we are bringing the style, and we are bringing the beauty and the cool factor back into comics here in Comicsgate. This is hand-painted because of you guys.
And right. And you got to, if you don't have skills like me and Sean, you can get them. It's just hard work. What we have to compete against the horrible, like liberal SJW mainstream media, we are already morally superior to them, but we've got to be better artistically. We have to be better singers, dancers, illustrators, writers, and that takes hard work and decades. And it was wrong of the conservative movement in this country to give up on entertainment, say, oh, that's devil music. I have nothing to do with music now. That was so short-sighted. We gave our culture away. Instead of competing and kicking their ass, we told them, you can have all, because all art is at the end of the day, it's persuasion. And when people make choices, I have news for you. Facts do not matter. Only persuasion matters. Facts matter for outcomes, of course. The facts will determine the outcome. But for the choices people make, it's all persuasion. People do not, I don't, you don't, for the most part, we don't make our decisions based on facts. We make them on emotion. So we got to persuade people with beautiful art that lifts them up, glorifies the human spirit, love, peace, all of it, generosity, bravery, being a badass, being a warrior. We have to make this kind of art. And just, I'll close the rant here, how I started. Have you had enough? Have you had enough of their garbage? Because I have. I've had an ass full of it.
Yeah, man. And I'm going to tell you this right now, guys, too. And Hale, this is the thing that gets me about it, is that for all of you guys here, for all of you guys who are sick of all this stuff, we can make our own culture. And here's the crazy thing about it. Excellence cannot be denied. And you know why? Because people don't. And here's the biggest thing we let happen to our culture. And this is where the conservatives had their problems. And this is where liberals have their problems. Everybody does. But it's really the organization thing. We collectivized our culture. We made it art by committee. And we got rid of the individual. And what Comicsgate is individual fans backing individual projects by individual creators and not backing them as a collectivist, not supporting a collectivist group that says, we only make this kind of book. We only make that kind of book. We only have this kind of person. We only want these kinds of thoughts. This is what it's about. Gabe and I are doing 2 different books in 2 different genres, but we are united in that artist soul we have to create something beautiful, inspiring, and uplifting.
Right. Absolutely.
And I am so glad for this audience, man.
Absolutely. And guys, as a husband of 25 and a half years and a father for almost the same amount of time, I love and hate seeing this comment here. This is obviously from a woman, the way she's written it. Men, we need you to be strong. Do you hear that? Put the fucking Xbox controller down already. Knock it off. Okay? And look at what else she tells you. I got to go find it. And strong women are here to back you. You understand what's at stake here, guys? I know, it's just comics. No, it isn't. My father grew up in a socialist dictatorship, Libya. Killed my grandfather. Killed my dad's friends because my dad just spoke against Gaddafi with his friends. Right? That's cancel culture. That's silencing. That's deplatforming. How do you think it starts? Do you think Gaddafi just showed up and built a gulag on day one? It starts small with, you can't work on Superman because you voted for Trump. That's how it starts, guys. We have to stop it here. We have to stomp on it. It sprouted a few leaves. We have to stomp on it. So you had a woman telling you, men, step up. You're supposed to be leaders.
And let me add this too. As a husband of 22 wives, I need you guys to back Nosfera, because that's a lot of wives. No, listen. Right. I will say this, guys, and you got a super chat in there. I don't know if you saw it.
I'm going to grab it.
Come by there, but Ellie's got a super chat for you there. Yeah, and it's the kind of thing, guys, and hail and thank you guys. The enthusiasm, I hope you guys can feel it, man. We're excited by you guys.
Hold on, I'm grabbing
22 wives. I know. I love Hardware Wars. Only 22? Come on, player.
Ellie Munoz for $5. Very generous. Thank you very much, Ellie Munoz. CG artist, especially Shant as of late, has me inspired to get back to making art, painting, and creating. We need you, but you got to get your skills up. If you're going to do it, get serious and get badass.
Let me tell you, that is the kind of thing that Gabe and I live for. When you watch those streams, I was watching Gabe doing some inking and doing some work on B-Flaw. I was watching Dave Williams doing some drawing when I was on an art stream with Ethan when he was closing out the last page on Cyberfrog when we did that stream. Guys, it inspires me too, and hail, Andy,
right.
Hail.
Right. I got some neat, speaking of Truth, Justice, American Way, give me a second to look this up here, Sean. So if you want to go
ahead. Yeah, absolutely, man. So, and this is the other thing too, guys, is that this has been right here. They say when the pendulum is about to swing back is when people who are committed to the direction it's already heading in get the most nuts. But that's when we have to be the strongest. That's when we have to make our best work. And by the way, that's when we are not what people will say we are, which is, we're about groupthink. We all are about, that's just projection, guys. You've got a bunch of individuals who get together. You know what I love about you guys the most? You know what I love about these streams is we laugh together. We're passionate. We're excited. But unlike the people above ground in Demolition Man, we laugh here. We have a laugh. We don't try to control each other's lives. We try to push for excellence, push for individual excellence. I see cats who are in Comicsgate and they go, I've backed, the numbers, I didn't even know we put out that many books. You know what I mean? I see backers who are like super backers and they do all this amazing stuff. Then I see artists who are creating stuff, writers who are doing incredible work, creating tons of books like Phil Diaz and CG Vacation. And then I also look at people who are running YouTube channels, getting the word out about old horror movies like Demolition Man. 80s Made Consumer is doing this. I was watching Brian Kriskow the other day talking about old horror movies, who he also creates Six Gun Gorilla. There you go. I've backed over 100 campaigns. You guys inspire me. Hell, that's what I'm talking about, guys. It's not a small thing to tune in, watch all these shows, and hit like. It is not a small thing. Don't let anybody tell you different. You guys are voting with your presence and with your time, and we thank you for it.
Right.
We are so grateful, guys.
Yeah, and CG, this movement, what unites us is just a love of liberty. I'm a conservative and a Christian. I know people in CG that are liberal. I know people in CG that they're agnostic or atheistic or whatever, but all of us agree on individual liberty and that you have the right, like Dennis Leary and his underground troglodytes, to have that Oldsmobile 442. You know what I mean? And they can't tell you that you got to drive around all emasculated in a Prius, like you don't even have balls. You know what I mean? Jeez Louise. And when Abra said earlier, strong men lead us, we'll back you. Well, looks like she backs it up with her words here, with her actions. Talk
Absolutely.
is cheap. I've backed over 100 campaigns. Talk is cheap. You already know from the track record. Shant and I mean what we're saying, because if we didn't, he would have stayed at that university. He would have got his tenure, his retirement, cushy. Guys, I was at DC Comics as a Mexican Arab. I could be the vice president by now if I just said the words. Capitalism sucks. While you work for one of the biggest companies in the world, that's weird. America sucks. Donald Trump is a racist. If I just said the words, I'd be one of the biggest guys over there. But you know I mean what I said, because I took that job that paid me a ton of money and said, no, I won't do this evil with you. No way. And I want to share this. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, please. No, I just have to say one more time, and I mean this from the heart. As a husband of 22 wives, I have to say, someone's asking me what I think about Wesley Snipes' new comic, The Exiled. Well, I'll back it because I'm a massive Wesley Snipes fan. I do think they're going to do a campaign. Someone was saying that they're going to do a campaign on Kickstarter and then they're going to do one on Indiegogo. I don't know if that's true or not. If they are going to do it on Indiegogo, I'll wait for that. But I will tell you this, and me and my friend Michael on his channel, The Choice Voice, did a 2-hour, it was cut down to 2 hours, conversation about the Blade movies and how we think that there is only one Blade, and that's Wesley Snipes. He made that character. We think it's criminal that, to recast it while he is still, in great shape and could very well do an older, Blade beautifully, Right. And so for me, I'm ride or die with Wesley. So that's just the way it is, man. Right. Snipes is the man.
He absolutely is. You couldn't be more right. Scottsley, I did an interview on Scottsley's channel. Scottsley, if you want to drop a link to that, he interviewed me about a week or two ago. It was a fun chat. And I've got some exciting news on the Gabe front, and then we'll get to Nosfera after that. But let me share this. Real quick. Guys,
boom.
They are real and they are spectacular. They're right over here in my. I'll just grab some. Hold on.
Yeah, come on, man.
Hold on.
Let's grab it. Do it live.
So there are the trading cards. I got them printed up. Let me see. They're right here.
Beautiful.
I got a box right here. So if you were on the early Indiegogo sign up, let me move my water before I spill that. If you were on the early Indiegogo sign up list, you will be getting one of these cards, personally touched by me. All of them will be rubbed by me. No, just kidding. But for sure, you're getting one of those only if you're on the early sign up list. That's the card on the left there with the black and white pencil. And the other three, Truth, Justice, American Way, I have those in other boxes in my garage. But everything's printed up. Looks gorgeous. Of course, there's great color fidelity. That's one of the problems I see in independent publishing. People's color fidelity is not good sometimes. But they look gorgeous. I'm very happy with the cards.
And you remember this, you've got the three heroes there. You've got Gabriel Taib, you've got our man David Brohawk Williams, and Gary Martin. He's right now playing a prank on some unsuspecting person and changing their reality. It's the way it
is. Real quick, Scottsley, congratulations. I made Scottsley a mod so he could drop
Hail Scottsley.
Yeah. Okay, so only the early backers get the white card there. Why's it got to be white, man? And
Racist.
Then everybody who backs is going to get the other cards. I love these cards, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. 43-year-old Gabe, but also 30 years ago, 13-year-old Gabe, just a little boy, single mother with a dream to be in comics. I published my own trading cards, and I couldn't have done it without you. I spent the Comicsgate money you gave me, not all of it, to do these cards, and it felt amazing. It felt amazing to go pick them up at the printer and everything. You guys, we're doing it. You did that. And if you haven't back today, it's so exciting to be like sitting here at my desk. I have things that all these companies have made, Transformers, all kinds, and then I have a trading card that I made with my friends and I own and publish it. It's just amazing that you guys did this for me. So let's keep it rolling.
And I'll keep it vague, man, because it's not my place, but it kind of is. Gabe is one of the most humble people and he talks a lot about, you know, his roots, and you know, family history of standing up for things. But this is a guy who has lived the life and taken on the responsibilities of being a man since he was very young, and been heart and soul of every family, every community, every group that he's been in. He has been an excellent father since he was 18 years old. He has been a coach. He has been a community member, and he has brought all of that passion, all of that heart, like Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jerry Maguire. He's all heart. And he comes into Comicsgate and he brings that. And I want to see this book do exceptionally well, because gosh darn it, I love this guy, man. I've gotten to know him, and he's a good dude.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we have some deep talks when the show ends. We go deep into the night sometimes. So I ate my ribeye before the show, Sean. So I don't have to eat it afterwards when we're talking.
That's right. And I ate my Sour Patch Kid. I mean, my ribeye.
Right.
My 22 wives made me. All right, go ahead.
So we got this, and then we have when we get to 70,000, you're all going to get this 6x9 full of color print. Just David Williams.
Dude, seriously, man. You guys are can you zoom in a little bit more? Zoom in again, because I'm really digging the freaking expressions you guys are getting to on the characters. Like, David's got this thing, right? It's like where I've been watching him, because as I watch him draw these characters more and more, all of them. Scroll down to Justice for me too, man. It's and of course we're bringing sexy back, no question. But have you noticed how when you guys are working on? Go ahead.
Where's I don't see Justice.
Justice is the third breast to the right. Yeah, but this is the thing, right?
I didn't see him there.
Yeah, I didn't either, man.
So the first time I showed this off last week, I don't know who it was, but they said Justice is making a face like an ex-wife.
But you know what I love about it, though, is that Justice in this, the way that Justice, and this is the thing about you guys, as you guys, keep drawing these characters more and more. The first round, you're establishing them, and then the more you draw them, the more they really start to take on their personality, and you're seeing it with Justice. Like, you're really seeing it, and you're seeing it, by the way, you're seeing it with Liberty, and you're seeing it with American Way, too. They're really, like, starting to come at you as who they are. Their boldness is starting to be there, and I love that, man. He's a gentle lover, but he also is he's a one-woman guy, man. What are you going to do? So I just don't fit the bill. I've got 22 wives.
He got a lot of work. He got a little jealous. He felt left out. We love you too, man. Justin.
That's right. That's right. We love you too, baby. We love you too.
Wait a minute. Are Justice and Truth going to expose the truth? How dare you? How dare you? That was actually fun. Thank you.
That's right, man.
Let's get it to 70,000 right away, guys. Let's just keep climbing up. This is how we fight back. The culture that took me, we lost it because we gave up on art and we let them make filth out of almost everything. That's how we lost our culture. We got to fight to get it back.
Yeah.
Check this out, though. Most of you haven't seen this. Man. Now, David Williams, he taped over some of it to hide spoilers. But he's cooking, guys. He's drawing stuff, and it looks amazing. You can't really figure out what's really going on here, but golly, David Williams.
Comics Legend is concerned about, can we buy the card with the pencils? That is a concern we have.
Can we buy the card with the pencils? What pencils? What did I say?
The exclusive card, the trading card?
Yeah, but there's no pencil. I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, maybe it looked like pencils. The card without colors on it.
Oh, with just the pencils. I get it. Can you buy it? No. I'm sorry, but I want to give everyone everything they want. Comics Legend. But I have to tell you no, because it was a promise I made. Early Indiegogo sign-up people were the only ones that could get it. So now if I sell it, even if I sold it for $1 million, it wouldn't be worth it to me for my integrity and how I would be disrespecting those fans. So I know that sucks to hear. I know you want the card.
Comics Legend, I was on that list.
I'm being fair. I'm being fair to those people.
I was on that list. I signed up for the email list, Comics Legend. When I get mine, holler.
There you go.
I'll see what I can do for you, man.
We'll make you a
We'll find a workaround, baby. We'll find a workaround.
I hate telling any fan no, but how would those early sign up people feel? You know what I mean? They they'd get their feelings hurt. They'd feel ripped off by me. And I always want to do right by you guys in business. I don't ever want to, like, here's an example. I got the trading cards 2 weeks ago, and the white borders were not up to my liking. Dude. They were crooked, the white borders on here. So I had them reprint it completely. So everything is straight and 90 degrees and all that. And I didn't pay. I told them, you guys are reprinting this. They reprinted 8,500 trading cards for me.
Beautiful.
Because I could not send out something, even though it was off a millimeter. I looked at it and said, no way. I'm not sending that out with my name on it.
Look at that composition, man. That is some brilliant stuff, guys. I love that. The no look, man. It's beautiful.
Right. The no look shot. That's true.
Man. It's just so great, man. Look at, I mean, gosh, you can mastery is something that is difficult to articulate. It just takes a career to get it and dedication,
right.
And the acting and the composition and just the raw chops when you get people like Gabe, Gary Martin, and David Brohawk Williams together to do this book. You are getting probably a century of expertise between these guys, man.
You're not kidding. It's almost, let's see, Gary's like 40-something years experience. Mm-hmm. I'm 20-something, so that's 60-something. And then David is just about 30-something.
Almost,
so that's
man.
90-some years of top-level comic book, careers. We weren't working on whatever independent small press. We're on Batman, Superman, Star Wars, all of it. So, yeah.
And it's going to be fun. These books are going to be a blast, man. You're going to love them.
Oh, people mention, Templar mentioned Beef Law. We'll get to Beef Law, but we're going to get to Nosfera first. So, guys, the link is in the description. If you haven't backed Truth, Justice, American Way, after my impassioned speech, after I walked away from Warner, you don't owe me anything. No, I don't want you to buy it because I did anything. I want you to buy it because you think it's fucking awesome and you're going to have a good time reading it. That's the only reason I want you to buy it. I'm not giving to get. I'm giving because it's the right thing for me to do. And if you look at this and I've earned your business, buy it right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's good enough to entertain you and be worth your money in this economy, then buy it tonight, guys. I would love that. I'd be thrilled and very, very humbled and grateful. So, and then for those of you that haven't seen, here's some an internal page, and we have 3 glorious covers you can choose from, and or you get all 3.
I was about to say, I went with a different route. I didn't choose between one of the 3 covers. Just not trying to flex, just trying to keep it real. We're honest with you here. I backed all 3 covers because, one, I love America. It's that simple. You either love it or you don't. So you back those 3 covers. And also because, let's face it, Vaughn said something really funny when we were streaming the other day. He goes, let's face it, man. So many of you guys and so many of us in CG are art fetishists. We love art. We love having art around us. We love having pencil drawings and knowing the artists and seeing the creators work. You guys keep me company while I'm working. You keep Gabe company while he's working. Those are the streams that we love. And then we get to talk about movies like Demolition Man and the things that inspire us, not the things that suck the life out of us. And I hope you guys feel excited and inspired, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah, we're going to have fun getting our culture back. We're going to be happy warriors, So I couldn't be more excited to be doing this. And so that's that Truth, Justice, American Way, guys. It's red hot. You should. There's more things David has shown me, but it's a concept art of something I don't want to spoil. And I'm just spoilers. I don't really care about spoiling things. This nugget, I'm not spoiling it. It's so gorgeous. I won't say anything else, but there'll be more pages coming very soon to see. Let's see. I like this, and then we'll get to Nosfera.
Yeah, man.
You ready to talk about Nosfera? Lightyear, that Buzz Lightyear garbage movie, is the first silver bullet that landed. It is going to change Disney for years, and they will fall on their face several more times. But the tide is changing. Fight. Yeah, it was hilarious to me to see Chris Evans, that Captain Woke America, making fun of people who didn't like the agenda, and Buzz Lightyear saying those people are going to go extinct like dinosaurs. And then his movie lost to Jurassic Park. The irony is so delicious there. Calling people dinosaurs, and he loses to the dinosaur movies.
It's one of those things to where you just sort of feel like there's justice in the universe. And hail Matt B's studio. Yeah, it's. Let me tell you something. Those the artwork you're seeing here, MJ1 Media, great to see you here. Yeah, man, it's we love doing this stuff. I love the Blockbuster logo, by the way. That's freaking sweet. Yeah. I love seeing that, man. And this is the thing too, guys. As we look at this, look at all the great books that are being dropped. The links being dropped in the chat, guys. We love this. But this is the thing, though. I'm not America, so my voice doesn't really count. But I sure as hell don't love America while Biden's in office. Let me tell you this, guys. Wherever you're from, Comicsgate is an international movement. Half of my brothers live in Australia, for heaven's sake. If you told me, a kid growing up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that we'd have backers all around the world that we'd be able to have actual conversations with at 2 or 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, they're waking up, we're going to bed, and then we somehow have crossover streams. It doesn't get better than that, man. It doesn't get better. You know?
Nobody's having more fun than us right now.
Absolutely.
The fans and the creators. And one thing I really look forward to that you've seen a few people do it is make the jump from fan to creator.
Right on.
But you got to look at your artwork and look at your story and be honest with yourself. And if you're not good enough, that doesn't matter, because you can become good enough. It's just a matter of time. That's all it is. If you just put in the time, you will be good enough. You know? And
you know what's so funny is I love making comics. I've been painting and working all day on this stuff, and I've been working on a piece I can't show, unfortunately, because it's for the Coach's Visions book, and it's something I'm doing for my my other brother Von Klaus from CG Team. But here's the deal, guys. It's we love doing this stuff, but there's a lot of things we love. We love collecting stuff too, just as much as you guys do. Whether it's collecting Steven Seagal posters, action figures, books, comic books, our CG, books that we all back and get, which we're no different than you guys. We have all of ours. Whatever you do, you want it to be brilliant. You want it to be exciting. You want it to be, you want it to be stuff that enriches your life, and that is what matters. That is the thing that makes work and makes what we're doing so exciting. I mean, look at this. This is stuff that is fan-funded, artist crafted. It is not from some large, it's not from a large corporate entity that is thinking about you guys as something they can just pull resources out of without any thought of you guys feeling inspired or being excited by what this stuff does for you. And we're 100% concerned about that. We want you guys to feel inspired. We see this as a, I think this is talked about in Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, the conversation about we are the people who are trading actively. You guys are trading your labor for our labor when we're doing this, and we're trading time with each other. We're doing this stuff, as people who are passionate about creativity, and that's what makes it great,
Right. Yeah, very well said, friend. So that's Truth Justice. Links in the description. I've seen in the chat. Go get it tonight, guys. Go get it tonight. So let's move on to Nosfera. Give us the update on Nosfera.
So we just crossed this week $26,000. My wife was saying to me the other day, she goes, "Didn't you just tell me we crossed 25 for those trading cards?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is flying, man. It is flying." And so right now, what I've got on my desk, let's see what this camera view does here. But right now, this right here is my life. Okay. My life is, doing these pages with these paints, with these many glasses that I'm wearing, and putting together work that is all about inspiring your imagination when you're watching it and creating legitimate, optimistic fantasy work. When I'm working on a painting like this of the female lead and love interest in that sense, oh heavens, looks like Gabe and I have a lot in common.
Sure do. We have at least 2 things in common.
2 things in common, right? And I'm working on this. You can see the texture of the paper here. You can see the human hand at work here. This is handcrafted for you guys. Look at the beauty in those eyes. That was painted live on stream. You guys were watching it happen. And look at the pyramids right here in Egypt on the water as that comes together. Look at the way these panels are in the true indie, tradition. They're free. You've got this werewolf silhouette, and inside of it is a journey to ancient Egypt and a full moon. You've got Laurel having this conversation with this werewolf, and again, a transparent nightgown. It is what it is. And as I do all this work, and as I'm working on what is the epic nature of this, and I know you guys have seen these, and I'm going to be updating that page soon, but this right here is about myth, magic, mystery, action, adventure, and an operatic kind of comic book story where you've got vampire foot soldiers who are basically almost like just, ninja warriors. You fighting werewolves who are trying to rescue a damsel being swallowed by a titanoboa serving vampires. It doesn't get any more fun than that. And I will tell you, I was writing right here the text today for this, and it is essentially this moment where after he has been in combat, and this is about as much of his head as you're going to see, I think, where, he has his mask off. Nosfera is giving thanks for and praying for the health of Laurel, who is, he does not know yet, has recovered from a vampire bite. And there are some beautiful moments in this book that you are not going to see from the mainstream. When you've got a cover where the type design on it is hand painted, and that is, what makes this book what it is. It's going to be art, and more art. And I don't mean Art T-Bear, although we do love him, for heaven's sake.
I think Art T-Bear was around when Nosfera was the vampire.
Absolutely right. And this is almost the final pass. I haven't signed it yet, and I'm going to do a couple more things. This is trading card 1 that was unlocked at 25K, and this is trading card 2. And so once I get these resolved, these are going to be the artwork. It's going to be horizontal for the trading cards. And so we're having the most fun. We were saying this before we were on stream. We're having the most fun that we've ever had in our career as artists, and that even carries over to the stuff that we do for other people. With both of us do that. And I know I talk about this, but this is for CG Vacation for Phil Diaz and his and Brandon Diaz of Zaid Comics. They're doing CG Vacation, and this right here is Clint Stoker's Downcast, which was Phil has basically went around to all these CG creators and said, hey, can I use your characters? Are you cool with it? And Clint was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm cool with it, Phil. No worries. And then Phil said, Shanth, can you do something underwater with Downcast? And this is what we came up with. And that is what makes this stuff so fun. That's what makes this a blast, guys. Gabe and I are doing the best stuff we've ever done. And thank you for making it possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. So check out Nosfera. It's in the, excuse me, need a little water, but I ran out. It's in the link is in the description. Yeah.
Right on.
Almost Porky Pigged it there.
It happens, man. I'm there too. Woo.
Right. But yeah, you're at 411 and 26,000. Great work.
That's right.
Man.
411, baby.
Great work. And you already have Nosfera 2 in the works. Right.
That's right, man. We got more to do. We got more to do.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hit you up for a Beef Law
dude, I'm there.
Style painted cover. I'm gonna do that.
Dude, I've been studying that Seagal poster you have with a vengeance, man.
Yeah.
And it's
Noriyoshi Orai.
Yeah, man. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. And we're gonna do the coolest stuff, guys. You guys, every time you guys back something, it's going into this. It's not like, listen, it is, you guys are putting the life into what we do. And yeah, that is the style I want to approach a Beef Law
that's
piece.
The style. And if you want to, should I bring up some Beef Law real quick?
Oh, dude, of course. Please, man.
All
please.
Right. I had it handy because I was showing it to you before the show.
Oh,
Beef Law is basically a Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Like we're doing the show wearing headbands because we love 80s and 90s martial arts action. And in Beef Law, Max Volkov, he's an undefeated Hong Kong pit fighter. He fights in illegal kumites. His family runs afoul of the Chinese and Russian mob, and he has to fight in illegal tournaments to save his family and also expose the criminals and the British government that they're entwined with. And it's just it. So I'm working on this right now. I'm writer, penciler, inker, colors, and letter. I'm doing the whole shebang on this one. I'm doing the Will Eisner mode. So this is him having fights here, illegal tournaments. Of course, the fights are at night down by the docks, as is the rule in all 90. So you got the docks, you got Victoria Harbor in the background, right? The shipping containers. And it's got a great story. It's got gorgeous women, evil villains, brave dudes trying to save his family, even though they're somewhat estranged. And Shantha's going to make me a killer painted cover for this thing.
Dude, you got to show the pinup, man, if you haven't yet on today.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll get to that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But, Teflon Ron was out. Yeah, I love this page.
Yeah, man.
There.
You can feel that.
Just sending him into orbit. You know what I mean? Knocks him out. So the page after that, he's standing over him. I showed you earlier. That's what I was working on today. He's standing. Let me make myself big here.
Oh, totally. Yes. It's a total street fight.
So you're going to have to use your imagination. In the empty spot here, he's standing over him. The girlfriend's there. The trainer there. The guy with the mo haircut for now. I'm going to fix that. But that's his trainer. He's holding his girlfriend up, getting the nice butt grab. You know what I mean? And then this guy they really hate is coming over to talk to him. And he's the big bad. He's the muscle for the gang. We'll get to that. This is Sergey right here. Hold on. Let me. Sergey, former like CCP military, and he's involved in underground fighting. And again, these are my pencils and inks. I'm not just a colorist, guys. I do it all. But I'm having a lot of fun here. This is Sergey with a bloody crowbar just hanging out. So I've been drawing a few pages and then do a pinup because it's my company. I can do what I want to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these pinups. But here's a pinup of his girlfriend, Nina Derringer. She's the girlfriend of our main character, Max Volkov.
Come on now.
And she's a piano. She's like wants to be in the orchestra and all that. That's like kind of her backstory. So let's
high cut.
Huh?
I said we live for the high cut.
Yeah, we do.
That's
baby.
right, man.
John said, Gabe, are you doing the entire beat plot traditional as opposed to digital? First of all, how dare you? How dare you? I am doing it. Hold on, I'll show you B-Flow right here.
Dude, this is gonna be crazy, guys. If you haven't seen it,
it's right here. This is B-Flow. I'm doing it on real boards. Let me turn off the green screen because the green screen eats up the drawing.
Yeah, man.
No, B-Flow is a real thing. They're real artifacts. There's a real piece of art. So there's that page 1, 11 by 17.
Boom.
On DC Comics boards. So DC Comics is officially Comicscape.
And DC stands for Dean Kane. No.
Right, Dean Kane. And so that I'll have to grab the page 2-3 spread because it's on an enormous sheet of paper. But we have 2, 3, and then 4, right? Chang Chi Hua, that villain there, he gets the upper hand. He knocks Max to the ground. He's pointing at him. You can't get up, worm. Then he's flying at him. He's going to tackle him. His trainer there tells him to remember the secret move. I won't tell you the move's name. And he does the move and just blasts him in the face. I love the way I did the feet there, Sean. I got to pat myself on the back. I think the feet and the toes look excellent there. So, and then, this is that pinup of Sergey right here. These are real 11 by 17 boards. Yeah. I do all this by hand. I want to. I could do it digitally. I have an iPad and everything. I just, to me, one of my art professors in college, who was a great artist from the Netherlands, he said in his thick accent, the pixel is dead. And I'm not shitting on anyone that does digital art, but to me, this stuff right here, it means something to me, the physical thing. It really means something.
There's so many great statements in here I can't disagree with. She has the keys to Sean's heart. I would agree with that. Will McAllister saying, I want to be in her orchestra. That's right.
Hold on.
Shanth wants to be a piano, I'm guessing. Well, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right, man. Ebony and Ivory work together in perfect harmony. Side by side on my piano, keyboard. Oh, Lord. Why don't we?
I'm grabbing the page 2-3. It's on the other side of the room.
It's got to happen, man.
No, I got it.
This is what's so great about this stuff, guys.
Okay. I got it. I had to go. So this is page 2-3 right here. And as I told you, I don't tape. Usually in comic books, when you do a double page spread, you tape 2 boards together. No. I went out and bought giant Bristol board so I could do it full size, one piece of art. You know what I mean? So this is it right here. This is the stuff.
Beautiful.
So if you want action and it has a deep story, it's not some dumb action with no story. That's what Beef Law is. So that's what I'll be doing immediately after Truth, Justice, American Way. Once people, at the moment that people start tweeting at me that they have Truth, Justice in their hands, I will launch Beef Law. I'll launch the sign up way before. We'll have trading cards. Maybe we'll have a bandana. I don't know. We'll have all kinds of fun stuff. We'll make it really crazy and fun. Of course, we're going to include Shant and all that. But Beef Law, I'm so passionate about it. I can't wait to do it. If you love what we do on this channel with 90s movies and 80s action, Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, that's what Beef Law is. It's insane martial arts. So, it's awesome.
Yeah, and someone was saying in the chat, every time I paint a female character that's mine, every time I create a female character, they have a tendency to end up with green eyes because my wife has the most beautiful green eyes in the world. And I'll tell you, I'm convinced, I'm not even kidding, I am convinced that green eyes were beaten into my head by Big Trouble in Little China. I like in my mind, this little voice going, "You're looking for a girl with green eyes." Like it's in the back of my head, you know. I'm just like, I gotta find it.
We reviewed that movie, you guys, Big Trouble in Little China. You can find it on this channel if you go through my archives.
Yeah,
what a fun review that was. Ellie Munoz asked, "How do you scan that?" I scanned that piece of paper 6 times and then glued it together in Photoshop. You know what I mean? I scanned it piecemeal and then had to reattach it.
They have an automate feature that makes that so much easier.
I tried the automate and the AI didn't work, man. It didn't get it. So I don't know what was wrong. Because I've used the automate before and it worked, but there was something about scanning. It just wouldn't work for me. So
yeah, absolutely right, man.
Could you mail us Beef Law themed brass knuckles? I would love to, but I think Indiegogo cracked down on anything that looks like a weapon or something like that.
So, man. They've been,
Von Kloss had trouble with his. Yeah. Didn't he have like smoke grenades or?
No, and you know what's funny is we think we figured out what it was. It wasn't any of that. It wasn't the fake stuff. It's like so obviously a toy. It was the quantity of decapitations in the preview pages. And their attitude was, we don't care if it. My sense of it was they don't care if it's in your project. They just don't want it all over your fundraising page, you know, because there's people. I've been on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. There's people funding books that have all kinds of things on it, and they put a little in it, I should say, and then they have a censorship bar over some of the preview pages. But it's, you know, it is what it is, man. It's beef equals boys ever eviscerating failures. That's right, man.
That's good. They are eviscerating those failures of men. Yes.
Let me say this too, guys. I've been sitting like all I think about when I'm not thinking about everything else I'm thinking about, which I know seems like a confusing state because it is I think about marketing for Beef Law, and I'm sitting here going, I need Gabe to crash through something so I can animate it and have him scream, snap into some Beef Law and have that Slim Jim logo with Beef Law on it. Like I need, you know, Gabe to go full Randy the Macho Man Savage. You know? Oh yeah, snap into some Beef Law. I need it bad.
Yeah. You know,
Scottsley, at least I'm thinking, I don't know, there's not a lot of electricity being generated in my head, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't like Slim Jims unless I'm on the road on a road trip. Then I crave them. It's like I'm driving through the desert to Las Vegas. I gotta stop and get like a Tabasco flavored Slim Jim. I don't know what it is, but at home, don't give me a Slim Jim. No, thank you.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I like them when I'm not on the road, but then also when I'm on the road.
Okay.
I like them all the time.
Maybe that's how I get wild when I go to Vegas.
That's right, exactly.
It's like, whoa, we're going to have some Slim Jims.
Oh, don't think I didn't think about that. I was looking at companies, and they do exist. Seriously, Gabe, I've got a problem. I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more Beef Law. But I'm sitting here, and I'll tell you this, guys. I was looking at places that do custom printing beef jerky, like they do in-house beef jerky, and then you can get it customized. And I was like, man, there has got to be a way to get the Beef Law beef jerky.
Right. I saw Simply Green say this. I'm like, oh my God, he's right.
Yeah, dude, seriously, it's genius.
The cream rises to the top. I've been doing too much YouTube this week. I hosted Kane on Monday, so you should have heard my voice by the end of last night.
Oh, dude, it's crazy, man.
Oh my gosh, I feel a little tired. We've been going. I just started ranting about 45 minutes ago. Just like some energy lightning bolt hit me, and I just got pissed off.
You guys bring this passion out of us, man. It's like, people say this, it's totally true. You don't always have to follow your passion, but by God, you always have to bring your passion with you. You know what I mean? Right. Always bring it with you to what you do. Whether it's streaming, whether it's painting or drawing or coloring or whatever you're doing, right? When you guys go to work and you're listening to these streams, if you miss it the next day, you go, I'm going to go back and listen to that stream because I do the same thing. And just bring passion to what you're doing. We want to put fuel in the tank for you guys because we need it too. We need it. When I watch other Comicsgate streams, or I'll watch Eric July and go, where does all that energy come from? I'll watch all these different people, man, who are passionate about what they're doing. And it can be anything, frankly. Like I watch a lot of different shows on YouTube, and I need passion. I need people who are excited because life is too short not to have your time spent and your money, your hard-earned money, spent on things that are of value to you. And that's really what it is. Yeah, above the law, the beef law. That's right. Man. Beef law briefs.
You know what?
That's a different kind of law.
I hate to tell you, Max Volkov, the star of Beef Law, he only wears men's bikini underwear in a zebra or cheetah pattern.
That's right. That's how it happens.
Oh, by the way, the Rippaverse, Andy, I'm one of the artists on the Rippa's comic. I can't say much about it, but this past fall into the new year, I may or may not have worked on about 100 pages or something with him. So Rippaverse. He sends me a text and he's like, "Dude, we're almost there," and I'll just text him back like a fire. You know what I mean? Like
you need to text him something for me. Okay. This is the problem, man. And I'm trying to think of, I was watching his stream today because I'm a member of his channel. And he got to this point to where he was trying to say something and he accidentally, and I'm painting with a mouthful of soda. This is a dangerous thing, man. I've got a mouthful of soda and Eric July goes, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm as scared. And he goes, I almost said as scared like I was some kind of effing rugrat. And I just about freaking projectile soda all over my painting, man. It was like bleeding out my nose soda as I turned my head away from my art. That dude just leveled me, man.
Oh, he's so good. I tuned into him for a little bit today. I didn't catch that part, but I tuned in.
He killed me, man.
Andy Contreras is very happy. Are you really, Gabe? That is awesome AF. Yeah. Seeing what you have been doing with T-Jaw, wow. Now knowing the great Gabe, wow, thank you so much, is working on just elevating my hype. Be hype. I'll tell you this, with Eric July, it's first class. He does things high quality. That's why it hasn't come out yet. He wants to do it right, not take it out of the oven before it's done.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I remember I tease my daughter to this day about it. She really loves hot wings. I really love hot wings. I make them homemade. I sit there, I buy whole wings, I cut the bone, I cut the little point off, I put them in a bag of buttermilk and hot peppers, leave it overnight, then I bake it in the oven covered in Tabasco and buffalo. Love hot wings. We were making them one time and my daughter couldn't wait for them. Took them out of the oven and they were all chewy and the skin was gluey and not crispy and light. And I'm not going to bring you products like that where you get too excited and you pull it out of the oven before it's done. What did the big lady that was the boss of Sabre on The Office? She told Michael Scott, "You want to hop in the bed? I haven't even got my socks off." So we're not going to go too fast. Remember, it's a gentle.
Let me tell you something. All I heard about that was wings.
Well, Sean knows this. Some of you know. On my mom's side, my grandpa, World War II, came back, opened a Mexican restaurant and tortilla factory. Then my dad from Libya, he's been a gourmet chef since the 70s. So it's like 50 years a gourmet chef, 50 years of a family restaurant. I only grew up eating delicious, homemade, healthy.
Dude, no. You undersell yourself.
I didn't have salami until I was like in college. Literally, I didn't have it. We didn't eat like processed Lunchables.
Let me be clear, ladies, he's taken. But this man is a hell of a good cook. And his wife is a hell of a good cook.
Yeah.
And
unlike other wives, she brings me meals multiple times a day.
Let me tell you this too. One of these 22, you would think, right, with me. But here's the thing I want to say is that if you are in the San Diego area on vacation and you want to eat well, holler at your boy. He knows the great spots to go, and he knows how to make a great meal.
Oh, yeah.
I had a ribeye
for dinner right before we came on. Big old ribeye, like a steering wheel. Delicious.
Yep. Right on.
Teflon Ron. I hung out in the back of a homemade Mexican restaurant while I was at like preschool. I didn't go to preschool. It wasn't like a big thing when I was little. So my brother was in kindergarten and I was just 4 years old, hanging out in the back of a Mexican restaurant. And that's when I learned to love to draw. I would pull the butcher paper out on the giant kitchen table in the restaurant and I would draw Star Wars space battles on it. Then I'd turn around, fill up a soda, make a taco with a fresh tortilla right off the conveyor belt. I was a very precocious child. If you haven't figured out I'd like to talk, I would go into the dining room of La Famosa. That was the restaurant, the famous. I would sit at tables with adults who were having their lunch, husband and wife, just dunk their chips in the salsa, start eating and be like, "Hi, I'm Gabe. What's your name?"
Dude, let me tell you something. We need a beef law belt buckle. Like, I could go on and on
beef
and
law
on.
Championship belt. They're fighters. Yeah.
Dude, we need to, like, there's so much. Dude, there's so much to do.
A beef law fighting tournament where CG fans no, just kidding.
No, but I'm telling you,
an illegal underground tournament outside.
No, man, we just changed the tournament. You're like, a beef law tournament. It's like, yeah, have it be eating steak. Have a steak eating contest, and it'll work. We get no trouble at all, man.
We can have that, and then since the San Diego Convention Center is right next to the harbor and the docks,
Andy's got it.
The crime is always down by the docks. We could have an illegal fight. Just kidding, YouTube. We don't do anything illegal.
Andy's got it right there in the chat too.
Where is it?
Beef law bandana.
Yeah, I've been thinking of that. Maybe it's got some branding on it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Anyone growing up around a small business?
Yes.
Yeah, grows up valuing the result. Absolutely, Warlock. My Uncle Dave on my mom's side, the Mexican restaurant side, he was a lawyer. So I remember watching. I would spend the night at their house when I was little, and he's getting up 5 a.m, suit, briefcase, got to drive in Colorado, driving to Pueblo, which is like a 3-hour drive to the south to go to court. You know what I mean? Because he's a lawyer, he's driving all over the state. The state of Colorado has like Denver, and then every other place you have to drive at least an hour or two to get there. So the state of Colorado, you do a lot of driving when you live there. And I just remember looking at him. I was in high school. I didn't want to get up early. And he was overweight, my uncle. And that's what impressed me, is he was coming down the stairs, fat guy, but he was like, looked like $1 million, nice suit, hair combed, 5:30 in the morning with a briefcase. Look at this guy. He's rich. He's a lawyer. He doesn't have to do it. And he's coming down the stairs. My grandfather, titanium, like knee, fucked up, just completely, Great Depression, World War II. And when we're old, he's like all buggered up. He can barely move. His knee always hurt. And we're going to go make tortilla dough in the morning when I'm in high school. 5:30 in the morning, we get up, me and my brother, we walk from his house to the tortilla factory. We start pouring the flour, the water, the baking soda, the salt, the lard, and picking up big things of dough and putting them in this machine that spits them out into little balls and make tortillas. And I'm watching my grandpa climb on top of this machine, half terrified, because he's like 76 years old at the time, can barely move, and I'm just worried he's going to fall off. And seeing my dad, a chef. Chefs are sort of freelance. They're working at this restaurant. They're catering. They're doing all this. So the men in my life, the ones I saw, you're right. They were self-employed, and they worked their asses off. And they didn't.
Yeah, well, the one in the mirror too, man. You were talking to me about mowing lawns and having jobs since you were a kid. You don't know anything but hard work.
I've had a job since I was 12. That's true.
You'll never bring guys. I'm here to bust Gabe. That's what I'm here to do. To break this wide open. Gabe is if hard work be in the lineage, he is not a break in that chain by any stretch of the imagination.
All right.
You have been working hard and working on your own as an independent creator, as a contractor, working for DC, working on some of the biggest stuff. The reason I did the whole triple threat thing with the intro is because, frankly, it's more than triple threat. But there's so many skills here, and we're sitting here working hard for you guys because we feel that it is a privilege for us to get to stand on the shoulders of giants and to have the support that you guys have our back, because you're like, we want entertainment that is for the fans. And that is what we're making. We're making stuff for the fans. Absolutely. It's handcrafted and beautiful and cooked to order.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's thank you, Sean. Thank you that's one thing you're teaching me, Sean, is to try to give myself a little credit. You told me
just a little, Más o menos.
Don't argue with my resume. You're right about
That's
that.
right, man. That's right, baby.
Yes. Oh, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll review Street Fighter eventually.
Oh yeah,
it's a bad movie, but it has Van Damme in it.
Yeah, man. It's Van Damme.
It is so bad.
It's bad, but all I can think of when I watch that movie now is Van Damme and Kylie Minogue, man.
All I can think of, that was the great Raul Julia's last movie.
I know, man.
Oh.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Oh.
Right on.
Oh, yeah, I was a paperboy, Henry Bemis. The demise of newspapers have had an unintended effect. The demise of the paperboy. That stuff gave us a work ethic. Yeah. In the summers, I would work in my grandparents' tortilla factory. During the school year, I would mow yards with my cousin Tim. In San Diego, the lawn business is huge because we're green all year. Mm-hmm. So I would go with my brother, my cousin, and then we'd usually have a mojado. That's what you call the undocumented immigrants. Mm-hmm. Mojado means wet one. It means like wet back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'll see these guys, Jose and Raul and Manuel. They're 50, 55 years old, and they're out working you, and you're 15, man.
Yeah, man.
They're such hardworking people. It's insane. And I remember that culture of just being taught early and often to be a man, to work hard, and I love
working hard, man. And I'll tell you what, it's one of those things to where that's if there's one thing that inspires me about all the people hanging out in the chat and all of us hanging out with you, here doing our streams and everything like that, is the stories of everybody working hard. When I was a little kid, I was in early elementary school. I was up until second grade. I lived in Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. Dan Lawless was in that neighborhood as a paper boy delivering papers. So there's so many of us who, have worked. I worked in spent a summer working in a boxer short folding factory at a place called Well-Bred Boxers in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Spent a day, because I only lasted a day, doing some pretty grueling work at an industrial chicken farm in a downtown, which is a city urban chicken farm. Jeez. Is a rough place to spend a day. Yeah, man, it's rough. But it's but I've worked, every kind of job, worked in movie theaters, picking up trash, all that other stuff. And it's great. Like, if you have work ethic, it's good. And you bring that work ethic everywhere. It's the one thing that the training in having a work ethic that so many of you guys have, it's the most valuable thing ever, is to be able to the Customato quote, discipline is doing something you don't want to do like you love it. And that's what we do, man. It's like, I go to the drawing board and I'm like, you're not going to win. You're going to quit first. I'm here and I'm going to paint and I'm going to make this book, man.
Yes. I love that concept. That's why I'm so into weightlifting. Here's some behind the curtains, guys. There's an Olympic barbell, bench press, squat rack, everything over there. This is
that would have been terrifying that had gone up and Charles Bronson had been standing there. I was just thinking, it could happen, folks. This is double impact, right?
It is the realm of possibilities.
Anything can happen.
That's why what you just said about the drawing table, you said, fuck you, you're going to quit before me. I love that. Sometimes you'll be drawing and you don't want to lay out perspective on a cityscape or something that could be a little tedious. And you're just like, no, I'm doing this. Or you need to redraw something, but you could get away with not redrawing it and not give your best. You say, no, I'm not going to be that person. Like I did with the trading cards. When I got the trading cards and the white margins were not perfect, I said, I can mail these out. It's not even a millimeter. Who the hell is going to notice? I said, hell no. These people gave me all that money. There's no way I'm going to give them that. So
hail Warlock and hail Daniel Russell. Yes, we did see the Snipes comic, and well done, Warlock. And yeah, there's Dan right there delivering papers. Was where I first learned about being a small businessman, guys. It starts wherever you start is where it begins. It sounds like the most obvious statement, and it is. But it's you learn on the job. And when you're self-publishing books, I learned that on my first 2 art books, and with this book, it's a whole nother skill set, and we just keep grinding, man. And that's what's so cool about it. Yeah. I love the people I'm around now because everybody appreciates fantasy, imagination, art, literature, creativity, just intellectual discussions, and at the same time, a great laugh and hard work. That's the best kind of people you can be around. And I'm talking about you, chat. Talking about you guys.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a show. I think we did great here. It was high energy. We had by the way, a round of applause to my daughter, Minnie.
Right on.
She does a lot of my YouTube stuff for me now. She goes and fetches all this stuff. She makes the thumbnails for some of my shows. She does research for me. And what she's doing now, guys, to make this better, the thumbnails, she's getting the photos in order of the story.
Hail, Minnie.
I love Minnie doing that. And by the way, guys, she's been doing stand-up comedy since she was 16 years old. She's 25 now. She got away from it for about 3 years, had a horrible breakup this Christmas, and started writing jokes about her boyfriend. And she's back, and she just killed. She sent me this picture. She just killed in downtown San Diego. She's doing it 6 nights a week. She got her first paid gig in July. She's a paid, real stand-up comic now.
Hail, Minnie. Congratulations, Minnie.
So proud of Minnie. So she'll be back on here with me on YouTube sooner or later. But my goodness, she's been busy. But she's a little blue, guys. Her comedy's pretty blue. She hates feminists and SJWs, so it would fit in right around here. She's amazing. But one thing before we go, I want to play this, and then we can get any closing remarks from Sean. Let's look at the beautiful woman one more time. You want to play that piano, Sean?
That's absolutely right.
Did you catch the brand name on the piano?
Yeah, I'm telling you what, man. It's time to let your fingers do the walking.
Oh,
all right. Let's have. Yeah, this is the one. Here it is. I love this. The Edgar Friendly speech. Let's have it.
Okay, here we go. I got to make sure the volume's up. If I push play and we get a hemorrhoid cream commercial, I'm going to be mad at YouTube.
Yep. There you go.
According to Cocteau's plan, I'm the enemy. Because I like to think. I like to read. I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy that can sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak with a jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order of gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in the non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to. Okay, pal? I've seen the food. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas drinking a banana broccoli shake singing, I'm an Oscar Mayer week.
That is right, man. That is right. Yeah, guys, that is the fire we've got in our bellies for this. And so let's just keep kicking ass and making it happen.
All right. We're going to keep making the books. You guys got to keep backing them. The links for Nosfera and Truth Justice, they're in the description. I expect some backers tonight, guys. We got to do it. I'm ready to run through a wall. I don't know about you guys. I feel amazing right now. Next week, I made an executive decision.
Yep.
We're going to do Teflon Ron reminded me, an unknown film that's fantastic. I like it. Nighthawks. Lando Calrissian and Rocky Balboa team up to take down some criminals. It's fantastic. We'll see you next Wednesday, 7 Pacific. Talk to you later.